Have we become so engrossed in the realities of our physical world that we have forgotten to heed the spiritual warnings surrounding us? It's a question that bears pondering. In our quest to understand and navigate our tangible existence, have we ignored the whispers of the spiritual realm, the subtle signs that hint at a reality beyond what our senses can perceive? This brings us to an intriguing warning, a prophecy from the book of Revelation, chapter 9. A vision of a force so massive, so overwhelming that it boggles the mind, an army 200 million strong. Yet this is no ordinary army. The scriptures describe it as a demonic force, a terrifying legion from the depths of the abyss. The prophecy paints a vivid picture linking this army to the Euphrates River. The Euphrates, one of the great rivers mentioned in the Bible, often symbolizes chaos and destruction. It's a powerful image, an unstoppable force arising from a river of turmoil, a symbol of the disruptive, chaotic forces that threaten our spiritual equilibrium. Interpreting this prophecy isn't a simple task. It has sparked countless debates among scholars and theologians. Yet regardless of the interpretation, the implications are profound. It's a spiritual warning, a call to awareness, an invitation to look beyond our physical reality and consider the spiritual dimensions that interplay with our existence. The 200 million strong demonic army is not merely a symbol of an impending catastrophe, it's a metaphor, an allegory for the spiritual battles we fight daily. The forces that threaten to overwhelm us, to consume our spiritual integrity, to distract us from our true purpose. So, what does this mean for us? Are we prepared to face such a force? Or have we become too distracted by our worldly pursuits, our material desires, our relentless quest for physical gratification? Have we forgotten the spiritual dimension of our existence, the unseen battles being waged, the subtle warnings whispered in our souls? As we delve deeper into this prophecy, we must question, are we prepared to face such a force, or have we become too distracted by our worldly pursuits? In a world filled with technological advancements and materialistic pursuits, have we lost our ability to recognize and heed spiritual warnings? The age we live in is a fascinating one, filled with wonders of technology that our ancestors could only dream of. We've put men on the moon, we carry virtual libraries in our pockets, and we can connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time. But in this rush towards progress, has our society become so focused on the physical realm that we've neglected the spiritual? Consider this. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, how often do we pause to reflect on the deeper meanings and spiritual implications of our actions? How often do we tune out the noise of our modern world to listen to that quiet inner voice? Are we as a society becoming spiritually deaf? This isn't a new phenomenon, of course. The Bible is filled with stories of people who ignored spiritual warnings to their own detriment. In the book of Revelation, the Euphrates River and the 200 million strong army are symbols of impending doom, a spiritual warning that was largely ignored by the people of that time. And we can see echoes of this today, as our society is often too distracted by materialistic pursuits to pay heed to spiritual warnings. We're surrounded by distractions, our smartphones buzz with notifications, our social media feeds are never-ending, and the allure of the next big thing is always just around the corner. These distractions can drown out the spiritual warnings that echo around us, making it all too easy to ignore the deeper spiritual truths that are inherent in our existence. But what happens when we ignore these spiritual warnings? What happens when we become so caught up in the tangible physical world that we lose sight of the spiritual one? This is a question that each of us must grapple with as we navigate our way through this distracted society. The distractions of our times are many, but are they worth ignoring the spiritual warnings that echo around us? Our values shape our actions, but what happens when those values begin to shift? This is a question that resonates with the pulse of our modern society. As we delve into the landscape of changing values, we find ourselves at a crossroads where the compass of moral and spiritual principles, once prominently featured in biblical times, seems to be fading into the backdrop. In the past, principles like kindness, honesty, and respect for each other were instilled in us from a young age. These values were the bedrock of our communities, and the glue that held society together. They helped us navigate the complex maze of life, offering guidance when we were lost, and giving us a sense of purpose and direction. But as we move forward, these values appear to be shifting, morphing into something different, something more fluid and less defined. We now live in a world where individualism is championed, where success is often measured in terms of material wealth, and where the pursuit of personal happiness often takes precedence over communal well-being. This shift in values isn't necessarily a bad thing. It reflects our evolving society, our growing understanding of the world, and our expanding definition of what it means to be human. However, it comes with its own set of challenges. As we place more emphasis on the individual and less on the community, we risk losing sight of the bigger picture. We risk becoming so absorbed in our own pursuits that we ignore the spiritual warnings that have been passed down to us through generations. The biblical account of the 200 million strong army, its link to the Euphrates River, and the idea that it might be a demonic force serve as potent reminders of the potential dangers of ignoring spiritual warnings. They underline the importance of maintaining a balance between our evolving values and the timeless wisdom embedded in our spiritual traditions. As our values change, so does our perception of spiritual warnings, but are we moving in the right direction? This question isn't just rhetorical, it's a call to introspection, a nudge to examine our values, and an invitation to engage in a deeper dialogue about the kind of society we want to create. In the face of spiritual warnings and societal changes, where does our faith stand? This is a question we must all ask ourselves. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, faith can become more than just a belief. It can become a beacon, a compass guiding us through the stormy seas of change. Think about faith as a lighthouse. Its light shines brightly, warning us of hidden dangers, illuminating our path, and guiding us safely to our destination. When the spiritual warnings become too loud to ignore, when the societal values shift beneath our feet like quicksand, faith is the lighthouse that keeps us steady, firm, and unwavering. The importance of maintaining strong faith in these times cannot be understated. It's not just about believing in something greater than ourselves, but about anchoring ourselves to that belief. It's about finding comfort and reassurance in the midst of uncertainty, about finding hope when despair threatens to consume us. Now let's imagine faith as a shield. It protects us from the arrows of doubt, fear, and anxiety that can often come with change. It guards us against the forces that seek to shake our foundations, to make us question our values, our morals, our very identity. It's the shield that we can hold up against the onslaught of spiritual warnings and societal changes, providing us with the strength and resilience to withstand, to endure, to persevere. Remember, faith is not about ignoring or denying the realities of our world. On the contrary, it is about acknowledging these realities and choosing to believe, to hope, and to love in spite of them. It's about standing firm in the face of adversity, about holding on to our values and morals even when the world around us may seem to be losing sight of them. Faith, in its purest form, is not just a belief. It's a way of life. It's a call to action, a call to stand up for what we believe in, to live our lives with purpose, integrity, and compassion. It's the call we must answer if we are to navigate the stormy seas of change and the echoes of spiritual warnings with grace, resilience, and hope. Faith in its purest form can be our guiding light amidst the chaos of change and the echoes of spiritual warnings. As we navigate through the complexities of our changing world, the question remains, are we listening? This journey has taken us down the path of Revelation chapter 9, shedding light on the 200 million strong army linked to the Euphrates River, an image that may well represent a demonic force. We've looked at how, in the face of such foreboding prophecies, many of us, much like the society depicted in the scriptures, often ignore spiritual warnings. We become so engrossed in the distractions of our modern world that we lose sight of these invaluable lessons. We've explored how this mirrors our changing values as we shift away from time-honored traditions and spiritual beliefs, lured by the promise of progress and innovation. But this isn't just about identifying the problem, it's about finding the solution. It's about understanding that amidst these distractions and changes, we have a choice. We can choose to listen to the spiritual warnings, to heed the echoes of prophecy. We can choose to maintain our faith, even when the world around us makes it challenging. It's about recognizing that faith is not just a concept, but an anchor. It keeps us grounded when the winds of change threaten to blow us off course. It gives us the courage to face the uncertainties of the future, armed with the wisdom of the past. The lessons from Revelation chapter 9 are not just about the end times, but about the here and now. They remind us that faith is a journey, not a destination. And just like any journey, it requires constant vigilance, perseverance, and most importantly, the courage to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. In the end, the choice is ours to make. Will we heed the spiritual warnings and hold on to our faith, or will we allow the distractions of our world to drown out the echoes of prophecy?